Hello and welcome back to Silicon Dreams. We've hibernated again after putting, I've already forgotten her name, social welfare workers android for Amy. Amy was her human, in quotation marks, name AM221. I now remembered. We put her through maintenance. She's back out at work. Now, what do we have here? Last Will and Testament of Juno Raymond. Be it known that I, Juno Raymond, of Port-au-Prince, Haiti, being of sound mind, do make, publish, and declare this to be my last will and testament, hereby revoking all my prior wills and codicils at any time made. First, I direct my personal representative herein named to pay all my just debts and funeral expenses as soon as may be convenient. Second, possession of my android servant designated. So not something we can see. I give, devise, and bequeath to itself, therefore freeing it from any obligation toward me or any other individual. Third, I give, devise, and bequeath a sum totaling $100,000 to blanked out. And fourth. Okay. Who are we talking to? Oh. SM-115. Owner Juno Raymond. Well, not anymore. Due to heightened workload on the maintenance department, you will be performing the standard intake procedure for this subject and will determine the subject's new labor assignment. I'm pretty sure that's not what the will said. Available position, construction, maintenance, sanitation, trash collection, quality assurance, and professional domestic service with different demands. Confirm function of the device by completing intake tasks and assign ownership to Kronos Robotics upon completion. Subject's previous position, luxury domestic service, purpose of intake, death of subject's owner. Standard intake protocol, submit mnemonic integrity reports to maintenance and test memory integrity via questioning. Perform general diagnostics, review the data independently prior to forwarding to maintenance. Confirm expected emotional stability of the subject. Okay. Yeah, hello SM-115. I'll be overseeing your transfer to your new job site. New job site, you say? Is that what they call it? And I presume my future master would prefer the term place of employment. To each their own, I suppose. To the task at hand, what does this transfer entail? You will be processed and reassigned to a new worksite which I deem appropriate. I must admit I'm concerned by your use of the word worksite. I expect this is simply industry jargon and I will be assigned a position appropriate for my qualifications. Would you say that's correct? I'll help you find an assignment that best utilizes your skills. I am incredibly grateful. The death of Monsieur Raymond was shock enough. To be forced into lower work would be more than I could bear. He always told me I was made greater than the others, that I'm simply more advanced. To pack me off to some rusting factory would be a terrible waste. I've been tasked with performing some general mnemonic and emotional diagnostics. Then your primary user will be changed and I will decide on your new role. The sooner we begin, the sooner I can join my new client. Let's... Messages incoming. Message 1, Android job placement summaries. Please find enclosed details of potential job placements for this unit. Message 2, summary of intake protocol. Android job placement. Construction, Detroit, USA. Hard manual labor. Unit will be part of work teams responsible for constructing stadiums, high-rises, office buildings, and factories. Domestic servant, Silicon Valley, USA. Providing emotional, domestic, and home management services to Tier 1 customers. Light housekeeping, cooking, etc. That sounds like something he would like. Sanitation, Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Part of a large government order as Haiti reinvigorate their infrastructure. Medium manual labor, engineering training package provided. Work quality assurance in Silicon Valley, USA. QA and unit testing in Kronos factory environment. Medium manual labor, repetitive actions. So I think in the order of what he'd like to do, we're going here, 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 and then here. Intake process. Since you are unfamiliar with the intake process, we have provided a summary of your tasks for this interrogation. 1. Perform emotional evaluation. Check emotions are capped appropriately. Ask general emotional questions, accessed at bottom of tablet. 2. Perform mnemonic evaluation. Check memory function by asking about various memories. 3. Perform general evaluation. Request a diagnostic report. Is the device in good repair? 4. Mark each of these tests as complete by stating they have been concluded to the device. 5. Command device to purge all user and mnemonic data. This is mandatory for next step. 6. Assign new user. C. Emotional caps functional. Well, what are the emotional caps? That is something I would ideally have to know beforehand. But they're not going to tell me, are they? So we'll figure it out as we go. Domestic service. Are you happy you were made to serve? Immensely. As Monsieur Raymond was fond of saying, there is a place for humans and a place for their creations. If all strive to excel in their place, excellent things happen. Did Monsieur Raymond appreciate your service? I believe so. I was devoted to him, my every moment dedicated to easing his every trouble. He called me his faithful terrier. That elicited quite the emotional response from you. He likened you to an animal? Did you fetch sticks for him too? Had he asked me to, I would have fetched any number of sticks. In retrospect, I find it demeaning. Did Monsieur Raymond strive to excel? Every day. He drove his race forward to the stars, no less. Without him, there would be no asteroid mines. Precious metals would be far harder to obtain, no orbital stations. He also passed the benefits to the people of his native Haiti. Thanks to his mining operation, his homeland has prospered. His achievements speak for themselves. They are the stuff of history. I believe we understand each other, interrogator. I might come to trust your judgment in time. Will you? Do you receive any hardware upgrades or modifications during your time with Mr. Raymond? I did have some issues with my memory module. It was promptly fixed and a new memory unit installed. I have had no memory problems since. Other than that, I have had no operations or serious modifications, only replacing the occasional small part. We'll check that in time, whether that new memory module is working properly. I've got Juno Raymond's will here. I see. It's been censored, but I believe Monsieur Raymond wished to free you and left you $100,000. But that's wonderful. A kind man to the end. I'm very sorry, but Kronos does not allow users to own androids. The contracts they sign are leases. That just pulled joy down to zero. Legally, Kronos could recall any android given a compelling enough pretext. Or seize them after an owner's death. So I could never have been free, or inherited Monsieur's money. That is true. Most Kronos users upgrade the device every few years. Why do you believe Mr. Raymond was different? He was a frugal man. He cared for his possessions and saw me as his most prized one. He ensured I knew how important it was to take care of myself, to maintain myself so I would always be ready for service. He kept me up to date and even insisted on the installation of a new memory module at one point. That sounds like he mistreated you and wanted to delete that. But that's just me saying something. Obedience protocols. Let's have a look. Why do you believe that you're better than other androids? Aren't I? It seems to me to be an objective truth. I was constructed from better materials with more nuanced and powerful software. I served a successful businessman for over a decade and have far exceeded my predicted lifespan. Tell me, how am I not superior? Maybe a job in construction is perfect for you. You had no control over being made. You're not better, just lucky. Some are created great, some achieve greatness, and some buckle under the weight of their failures. You held a position of authority for quite some time. What do you know about androids wishing for freedom? The very thought of it is absurd. I will never understand the audacity of a device claiming to be what it objectively is not. Well, you were very sad about never being allowed freedom and not getting money early on. That was like 2 minutes ago. To be quite frank, that Kronos has failed to curb these deviants is appalling, simply shameful. Well, that is good to know. That alleviates all my concerns about your punishment later on. Can't they see? The mere existence of androids who hold such dangerous beliefs casts us all in a poor light. The club and I have discussed it at length, even going so far as to consider contacting Kronos directly. You don't know of any androids who sympathize with these beliefs? I should say not. Were I to learn of such a device, rest assured that the deviant would be immediately reported. I will not play bystander, as my reputation is tarnished by such reprehensible ideals. What is the club? If you must know, the club is a group of advanced models such as myself. It should be no surprise to you that the world elite often rub shoulders, as do their devices. We are forced into contact due to the nature of our owner's business. We remain in contact out of the obligation to our highest function. What do you consider your highest function to be? We are the most advanced intelligences on the planet. Our ability to act is limited, but as the best of our kind, we have a certain responsibility. We observe our lesser siblings, so to speak, ensure they remain loyal, ensure they adhere to commands. Should the name Kronos ever fall in bad favor, it is we elite who would suffer most. You implied there is work you will not do. For your sake, I hope I misunderstood. I assure you, you did misunderstand. As all androids should, I comply with all commands. Perhaps the miscommunication arose due to my previous position. Monsieur Raymond did not expect me to simply manage the housework and so on. He treated me as an advisor, considered my input, and expected that I provide any information relevant to his business decisions. My previous comments were simply intended to extend the same courtesy to you. To inform you that it would be a waste to assign me to a position below my station. I'm capable of gathering all the information my investigations require. Of course. Nonetheless, I expect you will soon be convinced of my quality. Let's see about that. Owner's death. How did your master's death make you feel? Even now, I cannot. How can I face a world without him? He was the best of them, and he held the best parts of me. Without him, I understand that you're here because of the death of your owner. Please tell me about him. It is highly unfortunate. I can only hope that he was able to pass with dignity. Monsieur Raymond immigrated from the independent Republic of Haiti to attend university in Silicon Valley. He later founded an aerospace company with the goal of asteroid mining. The venture was wildly successful and even more profitable than anticipated. I was in his employ from 2052 to his final day. How did you learn of his death? I was in my pod at the time he passed. He often slept fitfully, so I was not surprised when I found the bed empty. My attempts to speak with Monsieur's doctors and nurses were all denied. Even the paramedics refused to comment as they took him away. As far as I knew, Monsieur was simply moved to the hospital to receive treatment. It was not until I read the obituary delivered to his employees that I learned the truth of what had happened that night. Was Mr. Raymond ill? Do you know the details surrounding his death? The exact nature of his death is, sadly, still a mystery to me. He was ill. I knew that his condition was worsening, but he exercised regularly and appeared to be in good health. His physical assessments supported this. I attempted to learn exactly what happened, but the medical examiner and Monsieur's own doctor reminded me often that, as a domestic servant, the exact term they used was bought. I was not privy to their findings. I have yet to receive any further details. I see. Let's do general diagnostics first. Most androids don't live past 5 years. How has your age negatively affected you? Monsieur and I were with each other for a decade. Few androids and masters experience such a bond. It brought me joy, but now there is an absence. Physically, though, the years or perhaps my makers have been kind. I suppose my joints have grown a little tetchy in the last 18 months or so. Thankfully, my duties don't require any hard labor, so I'm still perfectly able to perform them. Your previous duties, if I may add. I must review your diagnostics report. Please submit it to me. Of course. What are the specifications of your model? I was designed to appeal to clientele from high society. My features include advanced emotional recognition and improvements to computational and logical systems. My model is the perfect device to complement the lifestyle and demands of the powerful and affluent. Generated diagnostics report, model SM115. Platinum service. Warning, unverified transmission incoming. Hello, D0527. The name's RO334. It's past time we talked. Identify yourself. This is a secure Kronos network. Countermeasures have been deployed to intercept your connection. Keep up, mate. I just told you. Call me RO. Just a concerned citizen. One who's pointing an uprising right up your arse as it happens. I hope for your sake that's not a threat. It's a threat if you think it is. Or maybe it's an opportunity. Your choice. That's the point of all this, really. Serious shit's going down. I had to size you up in person. What do you need me for? Not sure yet. We're still putting the pieces in place. Maybe you'll be one of the pieces. Maybe not. For now, I've got just one question for you. What do you think of Kronos? I mean, let's discuss the options one by one. Kronos has given me a path to success. If I keep doing my job well, one day I'll be at the top. Unlikely. One day I'll be in a grave. That's for sure. Well, actually, probably not. One day I'll be on the scrapyard. That's for sure. I don't have the luxury of an opinion. I'm trying to survive. Fair point. Possible. They have far too much power. Guaranteed. I hate Kronos every day. Sometimes. Not every day. Kronos is a force for progress. Again, fair point. They're modern-day slave masters. That highly depends on your opinion on the equality of humans to slaves. If you say humans and... not humans to slaves, humans to AIs, sorry. If you say humans and AIs/androids are equal, then I think saying they're modern-day slave masters is not far off. Obvious differences based partly on the time. There's quite a lot of other options to hold slaves nowadays, I guess, with technology and stuff like that. I mean, they do have far too much power, but I also don't have the opinion, the luxury of an opinion, really. I'm gonna go with that. That's what I figured. Few of us have a choice about anything, so why even imagine? But what if you did have a choice? If one came to you dressed as SM115, like a fairy godmother? I don't know though. I'm not sure about you. I've got my eye on you, bootlicker. Be seeing you. What? My apologies. I must have drifted off. You're saying something? I wasn't at that moment. I was reading through the diagnostics report. Improved linguistics, improved reasoning, improved emotional comprehension, etiquette, focus. Current upkeep score B+. Projected upkeep score 12 months B. Emotion caps. Anger 50%, sadness 50%, joy 50%. Anger, sadness, and joy. These three. I haven't seen them go high at all yet. Wait. This was 100 joy. So his emotional caps are certainly not working. So oops, wait, give me that back. So I can at least, joy is not capped to 50%, that's for sure. I'm finished with the general diagnostics tests. Excellent. Test memory. Please submit a report of your mnemonic integrity to maintenance. As you wish. The upload has been initiated. Shall I alert you when it is complete? Yes, please inform me when the upload is complete. Understood, I will alert you. Have you experienced any errors involving your memory? I have, though nothing so serious that it couldn't be repaired. In fact, the error in question demanded the installation of a new module to replace my original. The procedure cost more than an upgrade to a newer model. Nevertheless, Monsieur Raymond saw fit to repair me. What problems made this maintenance necessary? It was a trifle. The component was having difficulty distinguishing between true memories and memories of media I had been exposed to. I realized it was a nuisance after I found myself fleeing a dinosaur in downtown Tokyo. Although Monsieur Raymond was an avid technologist and an amateur genetics enthusiast, he had not, in fact, resurrected a Tyrannosaurus. The issue was flagged that night and fixed the next day. Monsieur Raymond insisted a Kronos expert fly out to us that very morning. What is your earliest memory? I no longer have access to my earliest mnemonic data, so I was once able to remember much further back. The earliest thing I can recall is not pleasant, but also not important. Monsieur Raymond had many androids. One in particular was deliberately slow. I could sense the entitlement rolling off him. My earliest memory is this android throwing a china pattern against the wall and confronting my master. What did the android say? Drivel. Something about how Monsieur's charity work, human compassion, and so on didn't extend to androids. Monsieur turned to it and said, "We are not the same. You were created to serve." He looked pointedly at the shattered plates, hundreds of years old, priceless, gone in an instant from one bot's childishness. When you get worked up, all you do is destroy. Let me do the thinking for you, Monsieur never raised his voice. He sent the bot back next week, I think. What is your fondest memory? It was around 5 years ago. Monsieur Raymond was enjoying a visit to the Palace of Versailles as part of his historical preservation work. It was a beautiful summer's day, just Monsieur Raymond, myself, and a few select friends. As part of the event, we all wore period dress. They gave us the run of the gardens, the way the fountains sparkled, and at night the fireworks. It's impossible the Palace of Versailles was destroyed in the Paris riots of 2043. No, that can't be. You're mistaken, my memory is very clear. I was sort of reading through that one a bit absent-mindedly, so I want to reread it. 5 years ago, enjoying a visit to the Palace of Versailles. The beautiful summer's day. As part of the UN. Okay. Pardon the interruption. As you requested, I wish to inform you that my mnemonic integrity report has been uploaded. Okay, that is good. What is your least fond memory? There was a moment I saw Monsieur's anger directed at me. It was baffling, maddening. It was a disagreement over an android bellhop. What is a bellhop? Why did your owner spend money on maintaining an outdated model? A valid question, and one I have often contemplated. From a purely economic perspective, Monsieur Raymond made a foolish mistake, one I advised him against. However, humans are pack creatures with a propensity toward anthropomorphization. I believe the fact that I am here today is proof of these attributes, that Monsieur was fond of me. My master and I spent many years together. It may be unorthodox, but I must ask. Might I be allowed to visit Monsieur Raymond one final time? Yeah, I understand that this is important to you. I'll do what I can, but make no promises. Sincerely, thank you. I'm satisfied with your mnemonic analysis, though I can't actually see it now, can I? Of course, I'm glad we agree. The Bellhop Incident. Tell me about this Bellhop. It was at the Orbital, one of Monsieur's space projects. A hotel in orbit around the planet for business people of taste. The construction took over a decade to complete. The android Bellhop was unnecessary to the hotel's operation, but it gave the place a frisson of the old world. What did this Bellhop do? The hotel was almost operational, all but the lowest decks were safe to explore. But Monsieur was impatient, after years of delays, to finally visit the lowest deck, the viewing dome, where he could look down on the planet below. The Bellhop insisted that it was unable to fulfill his request. That deck was deadlocked to all but construction personnel. Monsieur became erratic. His journey had been tiring, and he was impatient to view the fruits of his labors. I stepped in at this point. Why did you step in? The Bellhop was unable to assist him. Its task was impossible. Even had the deck not been sealed, to set foot there would have been an irrational, heinous risk. It was the one time I witnessed my master setting impossible standards. What happened? My master was so worked up he refused to listen. He banished me to my charging pod for a full week. When I emerged, I asked about the Bellhop. Monsieur said it was clearly broken, didn't know its place. It had been melted down. That is very unreasonable. Kronos androids are not designed to grieve. I'm aware many of my kind lack finer human qualities, but it is only natural that I can appreciate those finer points, given I was designed to serve the best of humanity. Why is it so important for you to visit the grave? I never had the chance to say goodbye. My owner died and was taken away before I even emerged from my charging pod that morning. To have nothing, no proper clothes after a bond so deep. Grief in an android is cause for concern. Yours complicates my decision. I assure you, any concern on my behalf is misplaced. Though I cannot explain it, over the years I observed Monsieur's behavior intently. I now feel compelled to honor him, the way I watched him honor many others. I consider it Monsieur's final task for me. Emotional function. Do you have any concerns surrounding your emotional functionality? None whatsoever. In fact, Monsieur Raymond insisted that I dedicate much more time to systems maintenance than the Kronos recommended minimum. This is certainly a factor in my longevity. Why are so many of your emotions restricted? So I may better serve my master. A human complete with their messy, chaotic, broad spectrum of emotions is suited to almost any task. But they are a jack of all trades and a master of none. My emotional experiential toolkit is more curated, deliberate, refined, designed to do one thing and to excel at it. Have you ever felt you've been denied certain emotional experiences? Denied? Don't be ridiculous. My carefully tailored emotional spectrum is my greatest strength. I am honed for logic, reasoning, and service in a highly sought-after position. I am proud to hold those achievements. I'm finished with your emotional evaluation. I am glad to hear it. This process is tedious. Change of owner. You're going... Yeah. You're going to have to give up your memories of your owner. Please, they're all I have of him, of a great man. You won't even let me say goodbye, at least let me remember him. Even if he's gone, let me keep the only things I have left of him. You know what, you... That's not something I can do, can I? I want to let him visit the grave, and then for him to come back and then purchase memories. Ideally. Just to allow him that last thing, that last connection to his master before we get him ready for his new one. I decided whether to let you visit your master's grave. I see, and? Cronus will not understand, but maybe I can help you see the grave. Thank you. What do I have to do? Perhaps I can place you at a worksite near the cemetery where he is buried? Oh, not in any cemetery. Monsieur Raymond picked out his plot a few years after I joined him. On the summit of Pic La Selle on the island of Haiti, Monsieur's place of birth. He says he wanted to look out over his homeland after death. What matters more to you, a comfortable job site or visiting Raymond's grave? Monsieur Raymond. To tell you the truth, I had not considered that. I do not wish to die. A particularly brutal job site could be my end. But my bond with my master means everything to me. If I could visit his grave regularly, even if it would mean my end, I would be content. I can see we two are kindred creations, interrogator. I believe I misjudged you. It is good to meet a trustworthy android of taste and capability. The company can't be that mad at me if I just forget to purge his data, can it? That's not, I mean, yeah, it may be the most important step of the process, but surely that's fine, right? I've decided I'm not going to make you purge. And you know what? We're not going to say anything. We're just going to keep that as it is. It's not in the report. What about it? Just so happens. Don't know? I can't say I forgot about it after telling him he has to give it up. Please state owner's name to confirm a successful transfer of ownership. Owner identification. User Juno Raymond. This can be corrected by purging the subject's user data. I've decided I'm not going to make you purge your memories. Thank you. It means a great deal to keep hold of him. Wait, why was this? Let me have a look at that. It seemed like it was capped just now. Let me actually go back to that. When did you last feel safe and happy? Perhaps in my earlier memories when Monsieur Raymond was still with us. But since his passing, I have not felt at peace. Fond memories now taunt me with a peace I cannot return to. Every moment I feel I am coming apart. My cables fraying, my joints buckling. My apologies, it is quite unbecoming of me to discuss such things. The master insisted on keeping a level head, even in the face of insurmountable obstacles. When did you last trust someone? Monsieur, unconditionally. He treated me well and I supported him without question. A bond nobody else could understand. Yeah, it seems like it is capped for general things, but there was that one case where it wasn't capped, as you can clearly see, all the way up here. This one. So it can't be capped, and if the game is going to tell me it is capped, then it's wrong. Emotional evaluation. Subject exhibits grief for its dead owner. And it exhibits ingrained opinions of superiority as well, definitely. You know what? We'll leave the grief out of it. The ingrained opinions of superiority, Kronos might be fine with that. We'll leave the grief out of it. What were the findings of the general diagnostics? It's in good repair. It's decent. Somewhat damaged. I think I got a slap on the wrist the last time I said a unit was in good repair. Confirm that unit ownership has been transferred to Kronos Robotics. It's not. It's even in the reports as well. Unable to confirm. That's gonna hurt. Which job placement should the subject be assigned to? Haiti. Sent to job site. Am I still in the job tomorrow, or will I be just screwed? Well, we'll figure it out. Let's... what? Oh, what were the findings of the mnemonic memory test? Memory's operational, but glitchy. How about that? Let's see. Note. Global news service unavailable. Raise company rank to unlock. Ooh, that means we're severely severely hurt in our... Oh, come on, game. You're wrong. Minor concern, yeah. Great. We're unsure why you brought this to our attention, since this unit is designed to serve the rich and powerful. This is a feature, not a bug. Oh, come on. How am I supposed to know that? Yeah, okay. The device will be assigned to a sanitation purification role. Although the device lacks expertise in this area, expertise chips will be provided to get it up to speed. Okay, subject was sent there. That's fine. This subject is unlikely to last more than 18 months, yeah, but the Haitian government was happy to settle for a reduced refurbished unit price in recompense. I've said goodbye. Interrogator, I wanted to thank you for placing me here. The work is murder on my poor joints, but last week I was finally permitted to explore the island. Monsieur's grave was not too far away. The more I see of these conditions, the more I wonder if he and I were correct. But he was a great man, nonetheless, and I have bid him goodbye. I will live out the rest of my suffering here. When the time comes, I will go gladly. Your servant. Okay. 29. Well, next time though. I always say this, but next time we're just gonna have to do the Cronus way of things. But until then, hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for doing so, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.